Hello everyone and welcome back to Chaosville, here with your mage in the sky lying in bed mode, master of horror for the evening. So, last time we did a bunch of work investigating the shed, and ooh, we can see Dave's place over here. Yeah. I've got a nice view up here actually. I might have to library more often. I got a nice overview of the area, so you can see where the path comes in. Right where our peninsula, I guess, that kind of break in the water there is. I'm probably going to tear down those trees and probably tear out a fair deal of the land to install the wrecked bridge entryway to the Evil Dead cabin. From there you can see the trees where our guest book is, followed by the path which shall lead them all over to the cabin, which is quite happily smoking away there. We can see the Oldsmobile is in place. We can see the auxiliary cabin, which is just over my head right now. Which is just where I'm containing the owls until I can find a more suitable location for my breeding stock. And just at the tail of my broom is the shed for the tools. It's where the chainsaw is located and such. So let us descend, and I shall have a look-see, and we can see exactly what I've done with the place. And I might just do this the easy way, actually. And here comes my broom somewhere. The broom will happily descend on its own, but I'm not sure where it's landed. There it is. Oh, just in time for dawn. Yeah, this is why I don't normally do that in mid-air, because it makes finding the broom afterwards kind of a pain. But yeah, first you can see that I've changed out the, oh, that is a mana elemental getting set on fire. You don't see those around too much. But yeah, you can see I redid the roof a bit, so now it's using a different version of these chiseled spruce planks. I got the carpenter's blocks with the witchwood interior and the oak plank exterior, so it blends in a lot better with the actual cabin, quite a bit better now. You need to go away. Thank you. That's quite a bit of loot. And I switched out the... well, I actually added the door as the first thing. It's a carpenter's door, so I can get the full section without there being a hole in it for a window of any kind. I'm just using the witch's logs, the witchwood logs for that. So the interior looks like this presently. I've moved a bunch of my tools around. And I haven't installed the bat box and the watermills yet. That's our main job for today. But I also filled in the edges using oak wood planks pillars. So we have a nice, slightly indented kind of cornering going along here, which gives it enough of a cubic shape that it doesn't look strange and out of place, but less of one that actually looks like a beveled structure. It looks better for it, I would say. And then the floor is spruce again, but a different version to the top there, so it works quite nicely. And ooh, I have just picked up the reading glasses. These are something from Bibliocraft. They're fairly cheap to make, and what they do, if I put them on, good, don't I look smart, is most of the Bibliocraft stuff has a specific kind of text readout, which you can only see with these. So if I look at that, we've got tree tap, shears, 4 shears, screw gun, iron axe, steel shovel, carpenter's chisel. If I go in the kitchen instead for my item frames, which even give me volumes and amounts. So let me put my helmet back on. Yeah, okay. So what we're doing today is building the bat box and the watermills that go into there, so that we can charge up. We can have a dedicated location to charge the chainsaw. Nope. Bye bye. Yeah, it's just Crane, Will, and me on at the moment. If a dedicated location to charge the chainsaw, if we didn't just want to attach jumper leads to it. Not much has changed in here, I don't think. Down here, I do have an anvil, because I renamed the gun to the boomstick. And it is presently loaded, so we might see some action with that at a later point. I don't believe much has changed down here, but we're kind of getting to the stage now where I'm just filling in the last few architectural details, and it's mostly just adding furniture. So we need furniture for the guest room, for the bathroom, a little bit of furniture for the bathroom, and a teensy bit of furniture for the bedroom, which I believe is somewhere around that area. And that'll be the cabin finished. Hey! And then we can move on to our next site. So, to make a bat box... Well, actually, let's make the watermills first so we can insert those. There we are. Rough output of up to 2 EU per tick, a storage in them of 4. So in all, they actually make quite a bit less power than the generator does, but they do it passively without any fuel. So that's good to know. It's not a fantastic system, but it's not meant to be, because there's always the thing in horror movies of, I have this weapon, it can quite easily handle any of the monsters I'm coming along. So the shotgun is a fantastic example. You go to shoot a monster, and the shotgun has run out of ammunition, so you have to spend a few moments of reloading it whilst the monster is creeping towards you. So if the chainsaw is, like, not very reliable, then that's actually all the better for our purposes. But anyways, we need a generator, which requires iron plates, iron furnaces, and RE batteries. So, the making of RE batteries we've already seen before. So we need 4 of those. Tin ingots, a tin cable, and a couple redstone. My favourite material in the world. So tin cable and rubber makes insulated tin. Is it tin or is it silver? I can't recall if they changed it. Oh, it's tin item casings, right, yes, that was the thing. Okay, so for that we need to fix that up with our forge hammer. And just the 2 ingots should do that. So tin item casing. Apparently, I don't know this for certain, apparently the use of the plates and the casings is because infamous Mr. Gregorius T is now part of the dev team for Industrialcraft 2. And Greg, you may recognize the name from my previous season of Chaosville. He is the creator of GregTech, which is loved and maligned by many inside of the modded Minecraft playthrough community. Now that iron furnace is also iron plates. Okay, well fortunately I went and smelted a whole ton of more iron in between, so we need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh boy, I didn't realize this had so little durability. Huh. We may have to make another one of those, but those aren't particularly expensive, just 5 iron and 2 sticks. Although quite why they made it a horizontal recipe, I'm not sure. Okay, and now we need some cobblestone of some description. Make a furnace. There we go. We're getting a little bit of lag today. I'm not sure exactly what's causing it. It's probably my ISP going wonky again. It's been very wonky for the past couple of days, maybe in the last week or so. I'm with Virgin Media, and I've been hearing tell that they've been going wonky all up and down the country. Okay, and it's free to... Oh wait, I already had the generator. Why did I make it a 1? Can I turn these back into iron ingots then? Is that a thing I can do? That's IC2, so probably not. I can macerate them back into... Hello. Compress them into dense iron plates. What are dense iron plates used for? RTG fuel. Okay. Leave that alone. Okay, and now to make it into a pair of watermills, we just need sticks and planks. And that will get us 2 out of the 4 planned watermills that we can make. So let's see, 4 sticks, and can we use alder planks? I kind of hope so, because I have a lot of these. I have a lot of these witchery woods now. So let's go hawthorn. The ghostly white hawthorn. If I was making a build that was black and white, I would make it all out of this stuff, because it's beautiful and it works perfectly. And a generator. Is that the wrong way around? That is the wrong way around. Okay. Easily fixed. There, 2 watermills. Oh, and here's Nip. Now, we did have a discussion a little earlier. Crane made the waving little salute, made the waving emoticon for Will when he finally returned home having gone off to find some magnesium. He'll probably explain why in his own episodes, so you can go watch those. And then there was some confusion because he had apparently had a different idea of what the left slash lowercase o right slash man means, and it's not something that's very suitable for polite conversation, suffice it to say, which confused me quite a bit because I've never heard of it being used for that kind of implication. Doop doop doop, makes that. And like that gets us our second generator. And we need more sticks, don't we? Right, there we go. Okay, and our watermill recipe is in here now, so we don't need to worry about throwing everything back in. So just hit that. There we get it again. Perfect. So yeah, I'm thinking this is useful for having a long list of things that you just need, and it's also got 2 simultaneous crafting grids if you've got a bunch of ingredients on hand. And the super crafting frame is useful for something that you craft a lot of and you just don't want to spend the time clicking into something and stuff. Also worth noting, this is presently mounted on a wall, but you can mount it on a chest, or even a barrel, and it will use the contents of that barrel to craft. So currently I'm having to run back and forth to get wooden sticks, but I could have something like containing wood and sticks that I could just put this onto, and it would work just fine without me having to worry about my inventory at all. So it's very handy. There's also the super item frame. I don't believe I covered that last time. Okay, super item frame. So that is a dropper and sticks. It's a little bit different, but it basically allows you to funnel out a specific item from chests. So for example, we keep running back to this chest to grab iron. I could put a super item frame on the side of that, and I could just pull out iron all the time. Be fantastic. Very handy. But that is not what we're interested in right now. We've got our 4 watermills, so let's go plunk these in. Yup. Okay, so 1 here, 1 there, 1 there, and 1 there. Okay, and that is that. Let me get out of here. Okay, so now we need the bat box itself. And the bat box hasn't changed. Insulated tin cable, 3 RE batteries, and just wood. Fairly straightforward, but we'll do it on camera anyway, because hey, it's an interesting thing to run through. It's something familiar, which are somewhat few and far between in this mod pack. So, we now need more tin, and apparently we have 2 different kinds of tin. Can I look that back? Yes, I can. Thanks, Mac. So, now it stacks. Wonderful. I'm not quite sure how I ended up with a Tinker's Construct tin ingot. That's a bit strange. So, to make the... Okay, to make the tin cables, we need to use... I cannot remember what the recipe is here. We need to use these cutters, and I can't remember what the recipe is. Oh, because it's done on the plates, isn't it? So let me see. Use... Yeah, it's done on the plates, that's why we can't do it here. Okay, plate. Cutters. Wires. That's actually 1 less than we need, but we'll take that. So we can get that, and we need a little bit more tin, but I smelt up a bunch of that as well, so where is it? There. Okay, so that gets us the batteries that we need. Let's see, so it will be 4 for each, 3 of them, so yeah, it's 12. 12 plates, please. And... is it plates? I think. Ew, my brain. It's the casings. Okay, so we need to take a little bit more damage from here. Jeez, she's wearing away quickly, isn't she? Okay, and let's just do that. What am I missing one of? Oh, I'm missing 1 redstone. Right. That's another thing that I like about the crafting frame. It tells you what ingredient you're missing for that particular moment when you no longer have any idea. Okay, and like that gets us our third battery. And then we need one more piece of tin cabling. And there's just wood. Okay, cheap enough. But this is the lowest grade of power storage within industrial craft, so not too surprising that it should be so otherwise relatively simplistic to make. So on there, and that way I'll just get rid of my spare woods. Oh wait, no, one of these doesn't belong. So that can go there, and let's see, insulated tin cable there, batteries across there, that gets us a bat box. Right. Now we need a little bit of cabling. I'll take the uninsulated tin cable because this power is so low that it's never going to electrocute anything. Whoop. A little bit of lagging. Yeah, my connection's not fantastic. Okay, so wire, and there we go. Okay, so that is now charging very, very slowly, but it doesn't need to charge that much. Now, I did mention that we could maybe look into the different chainsaws that exist within the side of this mod pack. So if I go and type in saw, like the movie series, because I might as well stay a bit relevant to my channel, we have the chainsaw, the advanced chainsaw, and the power saw. Power saw is made by infusing a chainsaw inside of a Darkcraft Force infuser, and it can be upgraded in 3 different ways, including if you're using its power to chop down an entire tree, like by logs at least at once, and things like making it cut through faster, making it do more damage in combat, which would be fairly appropriate for us. And then there's also the advanced chainsaw, which is basically just a faster, higher battery version of the chainsaw. Now all of those are fairly good options, but the problem as I see it is there's a backing track going on right now that you can hear, that I can hear, because that's not being edited in later. That is the sound of the chainsaw. And you don't get that with these other two, so considering I'm building this thing and as largely an aesthetic piece, I don't want it. I don't really want it. I want it to be as much like a chainsaw as possible, and half of, like, the biggest element of a chainsaw in a horror movie isn't, oh dear, it's a chainsaw. Like, it's not the name. It's the sound, the and the shaking over your head, that kind of thing. So it's not... I think I'm going to stick with this basic Tier 1 chainsaw because it is the sound of horror. It is wonderful. Oh yeah, I really need to repair my necromancer robe at some point. Well, that's not too difficult. I think I just need the impregnated leather, like 4 impregnated leather for that. Yeah, it's just Diamond Vapor and Whiff of Magic, so it's not that difficult to get. Although I actually I need to make like a birch tree farm, because I use so much Breath of the Goddess. But yeah, we now have the sound glitch, wherein I am hearing this for as long as I don't log out again. But oh well. Okay, so anyways, we've got power going inside the tool shed now. It's not much. Look at that. Look at how slowly that's ticking up. It's only about 8 EU per tick, whereas the generator with a single piece of coal is 10. Maybe I can up it by adding another one, get it for up to 10, I'm not sure. But we've got power going, so the tool shed I am declaring as completed. So, look at that, that looks nice, I'd say. So, on site, we are only missing a couple of graves up in that direction for the 2 girls who died in the course of the Evil Dead movies. And we are missing a few bits of furniture around here, and then we're just tidying up and such. But other than that, the Evil Dead cabin has nearly finished. So maybe next episode we will either be filling in the final missing pieces of this establishment, or we will be going on a bit of an adventure with the broom to see if we can find the location for our next foray into horror. And then after that, I will, once the place is completed, I think I'll do a big retrospective of Evil Dead itself, and just recover, like, the brick, give the place a nice send-off. But other than that, the place is looking good. I shall catch you all next time. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to leave a like and or favorite. Follow me on Twitter and subscribe to be notified of future updates. You can also check out the website where most other content is uploaded. That's all for now, catch you later.